thank you all for your efforts. Right, we ask you all to continue to make that effort, with pride and with service. The same pride that I can't remember the officer name with the 1,400 tickets that he gave out. Right, we want that pride, but with more positive things. Right, the service that you all give us at every single institution. The security officers, the reception, the service-oriented individuals who have to meet with the public and deliver. We want to thank you all and also encourage you all to continue making that effort. The people who are overlooked continuously within our society, the sanitation engineers, right, the construction workers, a good tradesman is almost like gold, a definite area in which we can show some improvement, a definite area in which we should be targeting the creation of professionals. You see, we need to also see these individuals as professionals. We need to respect every single type of earning, every single type of service work that exists. We cannot continue to have, a backward mentality where we only look up and look towards people who we traditionally consider to be professional. For example, we have to move away from this thought of doctor, lawyer. The categories are so small. I would think engineer in our context is something that is respected as well. But we have to think beyond that. We have to start putting that level of respect to everybody within our society. We have to really reshape the paradigm of our society. Have we consciously shaped the way we view each other? I would say no. I would say somebody has shaped the way we think of each other. Somebody has shaped the way we even deal with each other. But it is certainly not a conscious, God-directed, loving mind. I saw an excellent question on the internet yesterday that was just extended to the general population. And the question was, what is the one thing that Trinidad and Tobago needs? What, in one word, what does Trinidad and Tobago need? And I want to extend that question to the listeners across our Twin Island Republic this morning. Keep it simple, right? Just one word. What do we need more than ever? Because I would think certainly by now we have realized that we are in need of something. And I would think, yes, in this continual battle, we have good. We have a level of goodness. But we have that constant challenge of all the different elements of evil as well. And we must endeavor our best to overcome those challenges if we are to succeed as a people, as a collective. There really isn't much individual success if you exist in a collective that is not succeeding. I mean, how much can you isolate yourself? It's horrific to see Sunday Sunday morning, I think I don't know the exact time. I don't want to misquote. But Sunday at a bar in Pinal, and is, you know, just shooting, just terrible. I could just imagine the experience for the predominantly a number of older men sit down, just relaxing, you know, liming as is customary for Trinbagonians, right? We know we love our lime. And it's just endless gunshots and, you know, individuals run into the space, come into the space to kill whoever individual. I think it's an individual or individuals. And you are running in between this whole, I don't know, experience. That is a hell of an experience, eh? I personally, I don't want to adversely affect bars and the business and stuff, eh? But I personally, I mean, I don't drink alcohol in the first place, but I personally don't want no part or no lime in no bar. I don't know, for some reason or the next, that is too often the crime scene, too often the stage for which, you know, violence takes place. I think the propensity for you to experience certain things is diminished significantly if you don't go to that public space, that type of space. I ain't trying to mash up nobody's business. I just saying it has been my it has been my observance over my short long life. And you choose to run the wrong way. You choose to run, I saw an old man run the wrong way for cover in the same direction that, you know, the person who they're actually chasing heads in. So now you are in the middle of that. It's not easy. It is not easy. And of course, there are very few of us in this society now who have not had an experience of some type of crime and violence, right? Very, very few of us who have not been victim or witness, or, you know, it is that bad and that prevalent, not now, but for a very, very long time. And what I am saying is that there needs to be real, not conversation, there needs to be real analysis of the entire situation and a real effort, a real concerted effort at fixing the entire problem. No, as I have said before, and I will continuously say, no, I'm not satisfied with just dealing with the problem after it has taken place. We, and as people think about it more, not from just an emotional aspect. Emotion should drive educated thought. Emotion should not, and we should not allow emotion to just push us into agreeing or going along with emotional reflex responses. We have to think deeper and wiser. And we have to be consistent in our advocacy. We have to be consistent in our calls. We have to be consistent in encouraging those who represent us to go in a certain direction that will actually solve the problems. So we have consultations now, and like I said, I've been listening to a lot of the consultations around this specific issue of stand your ground, with the hope that more is unearthed now, that individuals will have that bravery. I know some of us have enough wisdom and enough intelligence to know, as I ask the question, what is the one thing that Trinidad and Tobago needs more than ever at this point? I know some of us have that wisdom and that intelligence to know what we need. So I've been listening. I've been listening to see if, those people are going out, and if those people are brave enough to stand and speak to it, even while they are being channeled in a certain direction. And I ain't had no problem with that direction as well, right? Okay, that's good. Like I said before, to me, that's much of ado about nothing. Like, I hope it's just a start to something more. I hope it's a start to igniting that level of consultation with the population, right? But we had to stand up and speak about the real solutions. We have to stand up and speak about really making this effort not to leave children behind who will come back to bite us. Not leaving the culture. Our culture is our behavioral norms that have been established over time. We should be able to identify right now what our culture is. We have a dangerous subculture. We have a dangerous culture of violence. We have a dangerous culture of selfishness. We have a dangerous, violent culture of economic exploitation and lack of care. When Sugar Aloes sing about nobody don't care about nobody, that was then. But I feel as though we have only amplified the lack of care. And above anything, the lack of care implanted into this society is breeding a culture of dangerous violence. So let's think about it. We'll be back after the very short break. 342-0081-466-5391. What do we need? What does Trinidad and Tobago need more than ever? We'll take the break. And we are back. Good morning again to Trinidad and Tobago. So I just pulled up a little article regarding 4 individuals who were arrested by the TCPS, good job, for armed robbery in Point Fortin. So these 4 individuals allegedly took part in a robbery with aggravation at 10 a.m. on Monday, the 4th of August, 2025, at a business place in Point Fortin. The individuals is an interesting story for me because, like I was speaking about the issue yesterday, I was saying that we should look into the demographics of the issue, every issue of home invasion, of crime, whatever, to really understand what is taking place. And to be honest, I think there are individuals in our protective services, a couple of them who are experienced and have some level of intelligence, who would understand some of the demographics. I don't know if there's an intelligence-based approach totally to the issue, but just from a cursory look at it, you think about, okay, where this crime took place. You think about the individuals who are held, during the operation when they arrested these 4 individuals, predominantly male, 4 male individuals, 4 young men as well. 4 young men from where? 4 young men from different places across Trinidad and Tobago, which is interesting. A 25-year-old from Mova, a 21-year-old from Oropun, a 22-year-old from Aripo, and a 21-year-old from St. Barb's. So you have the blind leading the blind, obviously, because we're talking about 21-year-olds and one who is 25 years of age. He might have some type of a little, I can't say more sense, but obviously he has a little more years on him, maybe a little more experience. All of them have no sense to sit down and to come up with whatever theory that they're going out to rob whoever, wherever. Is it random people they're robbing? What is their socio-economic background? As in, what kind of home they come from? What at 21, when you are supposed to have some type of hope within a society, some type of foundation. You may be, you should be in tertiary education, or you are already in the working force because you're strong, you're young, strong, and I would hope educated or skilled. Same thing, education, but it's a different type, right? But skilled. What is going on? Morning, brother. Assalamu alaikum. Welcome.
Walaikum salam, brother. All is well. Well, I would say let's get to the nitty-gritty. I'll say, well, morning again to everybody. Trinidad and Tobago, thank God for life, for health and strength. We Allah bless us and keep us strong. I would say, in my opinion, I think what we need is a whole human reform, because we're only saying, the first person goes, so when you ask the question just now, what does Trinidad need before you went on the break? Some people might quick to say we need to pray. But yeah. I think somewhere in the Bible says all prayers and no work is, I think you're getting what I'm trying to say. Yeah. So just praying and say, God help me, and not getting up and changing yourself and saying, okay, I want to get that job. Okay, Fuad Abubakar has a job, has a business. Okay, I want to get a job. Let's check Fuad. So I have to, so if I only sit down and pray now, God give me a job now. and not going to your organization. So I believe that, to me, we need to change ourselves first. But then too, we have the leaders across the board, from business to religious to everyone, who are just on a different tantrum. I mean, yes, you're out there to do what you're supposed to do for yourself and so forth. But everybody, they're not focused on, what is the general aspect. It's in yourself. Me. Yes, it's true, you have to put yourself first, because if you're not feeling healthy, if you don't take care of your health, I can't come out to do something. So yes, you have to focus on yourself first. But I think we need to come back and check back ourselves.
Yeah.
That's just my simple take on it. So we have to do some form of get some self-awareness, self-realization, and understand that, look, this at the end of the day is what we're supposed to do. And I will say this quickly to make my point, probably more simplistic. I was listening to a program yesterday, so they were talking about sexual harassment. Sexual harassment, to me, it starts by being indisciplined. Meaning to say that, okay, if I have to understand that, okay, yes, that is my wife, but I can't do my wife a certain thing in public. Because even though it's my wife, that doesn't know a place. Yes, that is my worker. I have to understand if she doesn't like me or he doesn't like her. Okay, know your place. So to me, everything starts with being indisciplined. So we have to me, I think we just have to develop, but we have to check back ourselves. That is my simple take. I mean, you can expound on it, and let's hear what the others have to say. Look on, listen, brother.
Thank you very much. I think you give us two there, man. You give us two good ones. Yeah. Thanks.
Okay, most welcome.
All right, blessings. Yeah, so if I could probably crystallize it, I think he would have given us reform, as in we need to reform ourselves, but he also gave us discipline. And I am of that opinion as well, that we definitely, as a society, need discipline. Morning, Mr. West. Welcome.
Morning, Mr. Abubakar. Your previous caller made very salient points, and he emphasized certain principles. Leadership, he spoke about personal responsibility and the others. And they're very critical. And leadership is very, very, very important. And leadership in the community, in the constituency, in the country as a whole. Those things matter. If you have a whole set of a number of people assembled together without leadership, what would happen? They just assemble. You just talk about no leadership, what would happen?
Disorder, chaos.
Right.
Nothingness, just right. Wherever.
So it means that you have no direction, right? And if you don't have any direction, you don't have achievement. And that is what these communities lack. And he spoke about the church. He spoke about the politicians and all of them, the MPs. They believe they do all their, as I don't want to be repetitive, I don't understand. They have a role to help, to assist the community, their leaders, the counselors, the priests in the community, those people and them in the communities. They have leadership roles in the communities, and they abdicated that totally. Nobody cares. All they care to go by the savannah and meet with some prime minister or somebody and get some donation to build something here, to build something there. But they ignore the human factor, the human element. And you spoke about a child who is 21 years, but 10 years ago, that child was 10 years. And if, in fact, you don't deal with the problem, those who are 10, 13, 15, next by time 2013, 2030, 31, 32, they may be in the same boat. So you have to deal with those issues, those social problems within the community. You must mobilize, you must organize, and you must educate and enlighten the people within the community to solve that problem. I keep lamenting that or harping that because it's real. We have neglected that over the years.
Mr. West, we have 4 individuals held for robbery in Point Fortin from different places across Trinidad, right? They come together and they drive in where I don't understand if they went in particular to rob these 2 people in Point or whatever. But the 21-year-old, the 2 21-year-olds and the 22-year-old, even the 25-year-old, so they have jobs, they employed. I'm trying to figure out, there's a side job.
Well, we know for a fact we have a high incidence of unemployment in this country and youth unemployment, right? Some are unemployable. some are underemployed.
There's strong young men, you know, Mr. West. There's young men who should be the engine of your society, like.
Well, the thing about it is this: at this point, at this juncture we are, at which we are, we have to acknowledge and analyze the past and whatnot, and come up with plans and policy to deal with the problem. We can't just throw our hands in the air, you know. We have to come up with concrete plans, positive plans, in order to deal with that problem.
Mr. West, the youth of our country, 21, 22, 25 men, strong men, hopefully, if they've been raised and fed or whatever, they're supposed to be the engine of your society. They're supposed to be pushing our economy forward. They're supposed to be carrying the burden so that some of the older people who retiring, etc., can now eat from the basket that they are planting, and they are and instead of them being a positive for our society, we have allowed our youth to be now a problem, a cost instead of a benefit. It is a cost.
Well, the thing about it is that we over the years have neglected, right? The total neglect with respect to the young population and the whole question of governance. Because if you're talking about the young people, you have the young people. They are the leaders of tomorrow. These are the people who are expected to work, right, to contribute towards the development. And if you don't train them and you don't give them the kind of education and whatnot for them to contribute, what would happen? It affects those individuals, because I come back to social problems. You have economic problems. You haven't created employment. You haven't opened the opportunity for. When you talk about training must be linked to employment, to jobs. So when you have a whole set of training about that, and when they leave there, what they're going to do? You have to. Finally in Guyana, he said it quite clearly. He's training people, and training must be linked to jobs. When you train people and they can't get employment, they become frustrated, and the fact remains they hook up, they get tied up in this subculture. We know that. We live in Trinidad, we live in we visit those communities, and we know what happens. Some people in this country, they grew up in those communities, and when they become they improve their lives, they abandon the community, and they pretend that they don't understand what goes on in those communities, life in those communities. That is the problem. They turn their back, they move up to all kind of big, like Glencoe, some of them move up to Marval on the hills, and they forget where they came from, and they understand the plight and the social problems that these people face, and what may in fact help contribute to that kind of delinquency, that kind of deviance, that criminal behavior. They forget that. And that is one of the reasons for the problem in this country here. The leaders, again, have taken themselves away from the conditions, the human conditions in those communities. And therefore, they have done nothing to elevate or to improve the lives of the people. And that is one of the major problems in this country here today, leading to the problem that we have here today. So crime is endemic. And you have social media and people, those who are so inclined, they communicate and they do what they have to do. We know that. Thank you, Mr. Abubakar.
Thank you very much. So I take it that your one word is leadership, and I know that one is extremely important. Good morning, caller.
Good morning, Fawood. Salaam alaikum, brother.
Wa alaikum salam, man. Blessings, brother. Welcome.
And you're so right, and you care about the youths and them, and Mr. West is so right, because what they eat for the morning, where they come from, what is the social aspect?
Yeah.
They single mothers, single fathers. We feel it's just so then let's give up. And Baka, the failure of this generation is we will fail them, to provide opportunity for them, A youth can come out of school and he providing opportunity for employment for himself when he come out. You understand what I'm showing you, Baka?
But we never train them. We train them to get a job, right? The school system train you to get a work. And then you cannot get a work. And so what you do? You train them to fail.
Because in Guyana, right, if he say if it has 7,000 a year coming out of school, he training mechanic, he training welders, he training. So when they come out of school, it got be easy for them to gain employment. The failure of this generation, all the voters and them who voted in this country, fail these people and them, fail these youth and them. These youth and them can't invest in agriculture for youths to come out. How are youth coming out of school, sitting to do e-work? Telling the government, well, you have to create employment in garden, you have to create agriculture in animals, upland for the youths and them to come out. Look what Abraham Toure is doing. They provided the opportunity. He take the money and providing the opportunity. He opening the land. He giving them tractors. He giving them the seed. He giving them the chemical to bring the crop. And then approaching the market to give them the market. The same thing Irfan Ali doing too. The treasury money was supposed to come to the youths and them, 3 billion missing, so they cannot come to the youths and them. When a man recruits in himself 100 times back, where this money going from the youths and them? Where it going 100 times back, 500 recruitals. That is every 2 weeks when you check it out, 40 weeks or 50 weeks a year. When you check up that back, it's over 200-300 million a week. Going away from the children and them. Baka, if you have 10 children and you bring 5 children, because you could employ 5 other people children, you're paying your children 300. And because you could employ other people for 150, you fire 5 of your children. How your 5 of your children eating? When you send them home because for cheap labor, you employ some Venezuelan for 150. When your children them come out of school, where they're going for employment? Where they're going for employment.
But nobody don't care, boy. That don't matter, boy. And they feel that that will not create an even bigger problem. Nobody, you see this society is who on top and enjoy and have a good time, and whoever else, however else, tough luck. Figure it out. That is what this society is, you know. Everybody else, the majority, wherever, however, all they get through, that is all their business. Everybody, the few on top have a pathway to success. You have a pathway from preschool to primary to secondary.
This problem, right? This problem, Baka, is mostly on the east-west corridor, right? And these mothers and fathers vote for this PNM and accept this recusal. We're fleecing the money away from the children.
Yeah.
So much recusal that we had back at 500 each year. Every time there's 150 million because it's big company getting recusal there back at, right? You fleece the money away from the children and them for 10 years. And when you see this on the ground, you want to blame the children, you're telling them gun them down.
Yeah.
Back if I have my son and he robbing and thinking, right? What Dr. Rowley could have come out and say if you have hundreds and thousands of children, what you tell them? You tell them if you put down the gun. That if you put down the gun, a gunman will kill you. Why you didn't say that? Put down the gun, brother. I have the treasury on my back. The box stop with me. And when I watch up on the east-west corridor, you're looking like my son and them. Here it is I go do. I will create employment. Some of all come up and I will sort all the land. We'll give all the tractor, we'll give all the seed, we'll give all the chemical and make it. What is the difference? A gunman will kill you. When you box stop with you was there to provide opportunity at least for your people and them. Back when I see them kind of thing, that's why Abraham Toure, they want to kill him, man, you know. That's why he say he would not give up. When the reporter asked him in an interview why he not go back to civilian rule, look how long he did. He say he will never go back to civilian rule unless incompetence and imperialism raise his head from the country.
Yeah.
He have to educate all the youths and them to make informed decision.
Yeah.
What the PNM was doing to the youths and them to make them make informed decision. How the decision they're making is to carry themselves down in the ground. It cannot be. You cannot share this money. You have half the whole pie and you take 3/4 of the pie and give it to the 1%. Back at this is what going on, you know. You see this recruitment hurting me, you know. You see this $3 billion and the reparation money. Why PNM and get back that money?
Yeah.
That $3 billion and give it to the African as reparation by brother boy. What about the African bank or what could have come down here and make it an ease for the African boy? Why are you sending this 1% and put African as front to get this money? And if And Baka, let me talk straight now, boy. If an African could not do it and an Indian come in and do it, why we were fighting on the Indian?
Yeah.
If a man get diplomat and get doctorate to understand that, and then he can't understand that, boy. How David Mohammed can't understand that, boy? David Mohammed was to be behind Kamala, be right through and calling she name as a hero.
Yeah.
If he really willing, you understand? If he really willing, why he keeping the African? You have so this educated, and you say it's so educated, but you're sending such a message to the African brain against the Indian. That is a deceiving thing. Allah wouldn't like that. When I listen to that man, right, he's sending hate on the radio station, by brother boy. Emotionalize the people and them. And when you emotionalize the people and them, Baka, you're keeping your own people down. You're keeping your own people down, Baka. Just like what going on in Rwanda, right? Is race talk, you know. And there wasn't African and Indian over there, you know. And to get to kill people like that in Rwanda, brother, it's race, you know. It's different talk, you know. And this talk and them ain't good, you know. For a man that get doctorate and cannot see the right and the benefit of his country, no history, and you know parent, and they a simple man like you, Baka, you don't have that kind of education. I ain't gonna say you don't have that education like David Mohammed, right? But you can't understand PNM is the evil for the youths and them in this country, right?
Yeah.
Baka, thank you, brother.
Yeah, thank you very much. I listen to Dr. David Mohammed very carefully as well, so I don't want people to misunderstand him either. Maybe you need to listen again. But I understand his perspective at times as well. But I also understand what we face in our society now. And I understand that it is a glaring embarrassment to those who pretended to be African leaders, who left African people to the dogs to stray. Good. Sorry, caller. Sorry, I missed your caller. So we must now analyze what is taking place. We must understand what is taking place. Young people. And stop looking at it as them alone to blame. Morning caller.
Good morning. God bless you, son. God bless you.
God bless you too,
right.
Mom.
I would like the youth to hear this. I would like many of the callers to listen to this too. Now, I have a nephew. He graduated with honors from ECA. To get work under the PNM, from the time they see the Indian name, they're giving you work at all. Now, what he do? The white man, people hate white man. They hate the Chinese. They hate the Syrian. They hate the Indian. They hate a rich African. But we're going to get the job, whether it's for a little bit of money, because in Maufika, a white man had an Anturian place. He suffered with sinus and a colon problem. Is what you want to do. The poor fellas wanted to do that. They were past money. He went and he had to reach paper 7 and he had to spray pesticide until 4 o'clock. He did like figure 1, he came. But he didn't say, let him go, it had gangs, to go and get fast money, my education for that work I do. He didn't say so. He did that. And when he did that, he saved a little change, he eat half belly. And he went to UE to see if he could finish. When he started master the first year, he had application all about. They call him in Centeno. And when they call him in Centeno, he took that job. And that job was no way to his qualification for the money too. But he took the job. He's still in Centeno. And he worked his way up.
Right.
Still by studying. So you see them poor fellas, they want to do what they want to do. And I always say that parenting, where you get that cabinet here, where you go and come in the morning, and that is the only son of my sister. Why is it he didn't do that to like the 4 boys? They want fast money, and they want to watch what people have, to have what people have, the 4 persons. The Indian girl will do the kidnapping with the Indian woman the other day correct me in the saying what she wanted together with the man kidnappers, the gang. Fast money, the people catching hell.
Yeah.
Her husband catching hell, working for her sister. Her sister have a business. Want to see them buy a new car. All you want what the people have.
Yes, I agree. But fast money is a programming in our society as well. What I'm saying, Mom, is...
That is what I'm telling you. Do not burn.
Yes, we have to reshape the program. Because it is programming the youth thinking that way. Mm-hmm.
Let me tell you something. That is one thing Raul say. He never do good, but he says something good. You know what I'm saying? And let me tell you something. Those young fellas who doing them thing, they have dirty mind. When people think that they want to work, now he was right in that one. I will tell you something. If you go to all the countryside places, how much countryside young fellas are seeing them thing. And here now, when they talk about Vitam and Lamampi and Silat, all those places when I pass to go to town, that is a city in front of the countryside poor people. That is a town in front of the countryside boys. How much of them you here from the countryside they all going to roll up people in car, kidnapping, housebreaking. How much?
Yeah.
Fast money.
Yeah, correct.
Them fellas want what other people have, and they do not want to sacrifice. You drink a cup of Creole coffee, and you go in the cocoa land to work, and you eating breakfast and lunch all around 1, 2 o'clock. You're working, and then you will eat a meal, and when you come in night, you might eat a few biscuits. You know why? You want to see your children go better. And you're not going to give your children all what they want because you have something. You're going to show them how to sacrifice.
Yeah.
You understand?
Yes, very true.
So when you do sacrifices to have whatsoever you have, you hear? So I have 6 grandsons. I have 2 grandsons. None don't drink rum, none don't smoke weed, none have friends, none have bad company. What they're going to do is, and what they say, we see trouble, and we house still leaking. We leaking book. And what we're going to do is silent subject. Why those boys they do the same thing? They never go to temple for somebody to teach them something. But the mother home will do parenting, the mother. And what they want to do is to take it. They want to take it. But when you give in something good to somebody, and they don't want it, it's like when you're very full, and somebody come and they're giving you some dal rice and bhaji, and you eat a nice chicken and thing. You don't want that because you're very full. So it's what you want to do.
All right, Mom.
Thank
you very, very much. And I take that point always, Mom does not ever forget to put forward the fact that we do have individual choice, and the decisions that some of these young people are making are the wrong decisions. But we also need to shape up and understand the reality of the society that we live in, and what the teaching of the society, what the culture of the society is embedding into our young people, and how frustrating it is to be programmed to want and to desire and then not be able to attain. If we understand, to be pulled and to be pushed in the currents of, she's saying that even country people don't act the same way, but to be pulled and to be pushed in the current of certain behaviors. Go ahead, caller. Morning. Sorry.
Peace be upon you there, Brother Ford.
And peace be upon you as well.
Thank you, sir. Brother Ford, I'm calling in this morning. I heard a passionate caller before. I'm lamenting on how things are going. But then I heard him speak negatively to what Brother David Mohammed. And I'm not sure if I was understanding the brother correctly. I don't know if it is, he was saying something like, well, Brother David supporting PNM. He's a PNM or whatever. But I don't think he knows Brother David very well, if that is what he was actually advocating. Yeah, because I will invite the brother to come down to Kwame Ture Center. I hope he's still listening. And he could, express himself on his criticisms. But hopefully he could join the effort to what you call educate our children to uplift our people. You see, where we are today, it didn't just happen like that. Man, this my friend, this is the kind of thing going on since, in our mother's womb. You understand? Yeah. So, Brother David deals with things from a different level, not no emotional level, red eyes, yellow, Brother David, not that kind of thing. We come on Saturday morning and see what we do now, boy.
Yeah. Well, he did say that he listened. I think he probably listened to one program or something, and he would have gathered some of that from it. But I also told him that, I listened to Dr. David, and I don't get what you are saying, and maybe you have to be careful with what you understand from what he's saying as well. Yeah. But people have their perspectives on things, and I can understand our frustration, because I myself have acute frustrations with the last administration and what they would have said they represent in terms of the efforts towards Afro-Trinbagonians and the entirety of the society in general. And beyond just race, it is also a class issue in Trinidad and Tobago, where there are streams of success. If you have money, you could afford the best education from preschool to primary school to etc. You get into the best universities, whatever, because you could afford, and your pathway to success is guaranteed. We have made steps to try to open that gate and other things, etc., trying to, I don't know how much we try to lift the general standard of education. Because we recognize that certain pathways lead to success. And what I started off saying was that if we do not ensure that our youth go through a pathway to success, they will fall behind. And then we will end up watching on the news 21, 22, 25 robbery. And you cannot tell me that these children, now young adults, that they are totally responsible for where they are. The general society is also responsible.
Is the architects of economic slavery that are things?
Are they employed? Tell me, all those four individuals, they employed? They were seeking employment? They don't want to work? What's the position with their mind? Because it's not just, the next thing, Brother Keith, it's not just for them. If it was just if it was just an anomaly, right? I'm using a big word. If it was just an exception, if it was just in Trinidad and Tobago, 10 a year, 10 robberies a year, and 5 murders a year, we could understand, we could say, well, them don't want nothing good, it's them fault, they behaving bad, they want it fast. You could blame them alone. Yeah. But when you see in record numbers under the last administration, 600, I ain't even sure how much, 300, how much ever. I don't even want to focus on the numbers. First it high. One of the highest per capita in the world. Robbery after robbery. Home invasions like a trend.
You rated 6 in the world, right?
High per capita. Then there is something wrong. It is not just that the young people, a few young people choosing the wrong way. It is a trend. It is something producing it.
Yeah, it's systematic kind of thing.
Yeah, systematic. And therefore we must look at it from a systematic perspective.
Yes, sir. That's why you gotta analyze the whole thing. You can't just be jumping out this one that this from China, you gotta take our turn and teach them. Use a king and use a queen. And the rest says, then all in permanent.
You're coming across a little distorted, brother. You want to careful. I don't know if you're close to the radio or just careful with the phone.
I'm just saying, you know, before I express, some people have hopes and dreams, other people have wills and means. So I tell myself, oh boy, we should change everything. We sit together, we aspire, together we achieve. But I don't aspire to nice hope, like hopes and dreams. It's together we work and together we will achieve. So we have to get out there together and do our part. Stop the complaining. Teach our children. Is the children we have to focus on. What they're learning in school. Anybody could tell you George Padmore is? Come out of any primary school to tell you George Padmore and Sylvester Clark is? And this one of the teachers about George and intelligent there. Yes, sir, I don't occupy too much of your time, brother, but I don't like to hear people talking from a perspective that they really don't understand. Yes, sir.
Yeah, thank you very much, brother.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. The call was a little distorted, but I had to do justice to him because I kept him on the line a little bit while, right? So apologies for that to all the listeners. Good morning, brother.
Good morning, sir.
Morning.
You know, I just have to relax sometimes when I hear people speak from a position of entitlement and ignorance. Because I, sir, was a coke addict. I used to smoke marijuana. I started from the age of 14. But you know what? My upbringing did not allow me to become a criminal. Because I grew up with my grandmother who instilled certain things within you that will never leave. So we never steal. And yes, it was a certain amount of us together. Some of them went the other way. And you would be surprised to know that those that went some of the other way were endorsed.
Yeah, for sure. It is
right?
is beyond race.
Good. So what I'm saying, it has very little to do with all these other things and the lacks and the different things that you're missing and all this foolishness. What it has to do with is your upbringing, your mental capacity, and your choice.
Yeah, man.
Yes, I made bad choices in regard to what I did and did for my life, and that was because of certain pressure points that was applied to my life. But at the end of the day, the upbringing held me in one position, and I went back to school, I went back to school, I went back to school, continually, until I achieved what it is I had to. Because I had to leave school at 14.
Yeah, blessings, brother, blessings. Yeah.
Do not come and say, well, you know, they don't have enough. I grew up with not enough. So it has nothing to do with the finances. It is your mind. It is your choice. So when I hear people speak from this entitled position and then have no idea of what they are speaking of because you look at one myopic view that may align with an agenda and what other people say, it totally erroneously, I may add. It makes me laugh so I don't get angry because it's your choice. If you choose that this is an easy life because getting up every morning and making it out there to go and work and decide, listen, I don't care what the boss had to tell me today. And how, with the right word, boy, emasculated you are feeling because of how you are treated but you still get up and get because you have a family. That is your choice.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right? So don't come with this thing that you know they didn't have the opportunity. You have to make your opportunities sometimes.
Yeah. Excellent.
I didn't have all the opportunities.
Excellent.
Why somebody didn't have all the money?
Yeah.
Right?
But caller, one thing I want to agree with you on, and I want to actually just develop on, right? Blessings to you and the ability that you have shown to fight against that grain. But you see what you said about your grandmother to really imprint that direction in you, and then your ability to come from even a difficult position using whatever drugs and still rise again. That mental strength as well. That's a blessing. But I'm saying that there's so many people out here who their minds are not, they don't have that strength. And that granny support that really put it in you. I could tell you I am privileged because my mother and my father put it in me. They put it in me. But then we have a society where it ain't her mother and father.
We understand that I did not have a father.
Thank God for granny.
So you listen.
Yeah, I understand you.
Unfortunately, in the black community, is we don't have a community.
Yeah.
That is the biggest problem that we have.
Yeah.
There is no community in the black community. And then there's a level of selfishness that exists that I have and you don't have, and so I go make time. You see, those ignorance is why they don't go forward.
Yeah.
And we have no problem with taking our children out of school so that they could help put in a food in the fridge. And that is totally disastrous for your child's future.
Yeah.
You have setting him up to be a criminal. You dressed him like a bandit with earring in the air. He ain't a Hindu. And he turns off his butt like a slave because you know that sagging came from slavery because they say only a real man could have a belt. So the slave had to wear pants hanging off. This was also part of the excuse why they could not run away because they had to be pulling up their pants. All these, listen, we need to do history so we could not make the same mistakes.
Yeah.
We keep making it over and over and over and then blame everything else except ourselves. If you fail to be educated, you fail.
Yeah.
That's it. Yeah. You either get yourself educated or expect to fail. But when parents allow their children to say, I am not going to school today, and I'm at school, I don't like the teacher. You see, that ignorance is why we are where we are today. Because when they don't get educated in school as a choice, you know who educates them?
Yeah.
The gang leader.
Yes. Something negative, yeah? Yeah.
So we have to stop and start looking in the mirror and stop putting blame to somebody else. When I got my first lesson that I learned, that I went on a seminar, the man said the difference between a good manager and a bad manager is a bad manager allocates blame. A good manager finds solutions.
Right.
And we keep putting blame on Michael, on Harry, and on administration, and this and this that. And we forget to look in the mirror. Michael Jackson had it correct. I'm looking at the man in the mirror. And I'm asking him to change his ways. That is what will get us where we need to go. But until we don't do that, we're going to fail. We're going to fail.
Thank you very, very much, Kola.
Start uplifting. Thank you.
Thank you very, very much. And people's experiences are crucial for us to understand what is taking place. Apologies, I know you've been calling for a while. Good morning.
Pleasant good morning, Mr. Baker.
And pleasant good morning to you as well.
Okay, my friend. Well, I can't but help putting that last dollar to the head of the class.
Yeah.
Yeah, can't but help doing that.
He live it as well. You see, he who feels it knows it as well, huh?
Yeah, but you see, he's from a similar background to me. You see, I born and grew in Jara Singh village, nice and Gandhi, and I used to smoke weed too.
Yeah.
I don't agree with when people say, you know, if people don't get job or if they don't get this or if they're poor, they next thing they want to hold up somebody. It is not something you see the music we listen.
Yeah.
The books we read, the shows we watch, the places we go, and the friends we keep have a lot to do with our destination, my friend.
You could repeat the friends we keep. You could repeat that one because that one's so important. The friends we keep.
Yes. So you see, when you hear songs like "You don't have to cheat to be a winner," "You don't have to steal to get enough." You see, my friend, I am again saying, how long will we continue to pick up the young pumpsity on the ground and inject it, hoping that the pumpsity tree stop dropping pumpsity? I believe the problem is basically parenting. You hear what the last caller said?
Yeah.
Parenting.
Yeah.
Parenting, my friend. I don't know how to explain this thing again, boy, because Granny made some statement a while ago, which I also agree with. But my friend, I have no other choice but to blame parenting.
Yeah.
You see, we need to measure twice, cut once. The youths, we continue to blame the youths and blame the youths and blame the youths. And I understand the early ones, because what we did in secret, then doing it openly.
Yeah.
According to Rash Shorty, what we did in secret, they're doing it openly. You see, we parents ought to be role models, ought to be better examples. The younger people, some young people, they are so innocent. This is what I just observe. Some of them, they could do better. They know better. But some of them, the environment they grew up in, they just don't know better. This is what they know.
Yeah.
So you see, we need to instill values. Love is living of values every day. I mentioned to you yesterday, I hear about an African bank coming Trinidad, or the PNM didn't authorize and the UNC is looking after it and so on. I wonder if we go there with the same mentality that we want a stove, but we go in and ask for a fridge.
Yeah. No. We're not doing that. We're not doing that.
Because then it calls for education. And if we are honest with ourselves, when the young man is 8 years and he says, "Mommy, you don't forget tomorrow is my birthday," you will take him Pennywise and buy a trimming machine for him. And next year he remind you it's his birthday. You will buy a big piece of glass for him. And next year he remind you it's his birthday. You'll buy a rocking chair. And next year he remind you it's good. By the time that fella reach 18, 20 years, he have a barber saloon.
Yeah.
We ought to bring up the children and grow them. In fact, the real role model is what we're looking at. Otherwise, like I said yesterday, this thing is so big, I can't get over it, you know. It's so wide, I can't get around it, you know.
Yeah.
It's so low, I can't get under it, you know.
Yeah.
The system is corrupt. We individual is corrupt. We continue to blame the system and WASA and TNTech, but who is working here? My brother, your sister, your aunt, my uncle is the one who is working in these places. And we are just not doing our job to the best of our ability.
Yeah.
Sometimes you go into the police service, and brother, if you go to do the work by the book, or you go into WASA, you go to do the work by the book, you don't last long, you know.
At all.
Joining the system.
They push you out quick. They have you somewhere. They push you out. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
So that we ought to strive to realize that there is a God, and where there is a will, there is a way. You start to work, the first thing you do is cater for in case you're not working. But in case tomorrow I get fired. I hope that these URP and CPEP workers, when they are be re-employed or get another job, they're going to look at the brighter side and say, look, let me put away some money to pack some nuts. Let me be the nuts man in arena. So when I go into the UNC meeting, I will be selling nuts. Let us do something now. Wise up. The bottom line, Mr. Barker, is that we push the creator out. We don't want him in him out. And once we take him out of the school curriculum, and I really problem sad.
Yeah.
Mr. Barker, let me give somebody else a chance. A lot can understand.
Yeah, man. Thank you very much. Blessings. We have removed the creator from almost every aspect of our endeavor. We have removed the creator and the love that he represents and he teaches us to have for each other with something totally different. The opposite of God and the opposite of love in every aspect of our daily lives, in every aspect of the systematic working of our society. And therefore, what are we reaping? We're reaping what we have sown. We're reaping what we have sown. So now we need to reform, as a couple of the callers said. We need to change ourselves in order to produce something different. And if we continue with the same heartless, loveless, systematic behavior, then we will continue to reap, or we continue to see our young men, young women lost. Thank you all very much. We'll be back, God willing, tomorrow. Take care.